All right, now the weekly roundup takes center stage. Welcome to your daily Kickstarter breakfast television. 27 minutes to the top of the hour. Now we look at the top stories of our discussion with the SMB news recap that we've been having, and as well as on ground, some of the topics that have been the weekly highlight. So, Andrew, when you look at this week, it has as well been a busy one regarding business. So, a breakdown of some of the stories that caught your attention.
Well, of course, I can't leave out the border census.
Okay.
I know that was launched, I think that was on Monday, by the Kampala City Council Authority. And of course, it was supposed to commence on Tuesday that very week, but surprisingly, the execution wasn't timely. You know, because I reached at one of the places in Central Division where the registration was to take place. That was in Bat Valley, because Central had two places. That was Old Kampala plus Bat Valley, and of course, and also other 5 divisions of Kampala. But still, you realize that it was untimely, and people were already there on time at the time I reached on ground, and of course, the border people were expressing these grievances about, okay, I mean, we've been signing all this, we've been working on this. Why are they making us feel like we have these people that they are making us to sign quite a number of things? So they wanted to be really sure what they are getting into, and you know, and what really pissed them off was the untimely, because they could ask themselves that how can a whole government really not keep time?
Very true, by the way, when you mention of something like that. And because they've been moving, and imagine they tell you tomorrow morning, wake up and pick your license from here or register from here, then you reach and there are no officials, no government officials. I can understand.
Yeah.
But Kampala City Council Authority intends to have 7,000 borders in the city, and 7,000 of those, I still see this as a move that the government wants to see happen. But I would want to see it being implemented. I don't know how, because I think we have thousands of borders in the central business district in Uganda.
Quite very many.
And I've seen members of parliament using borders as well once they are late and they want to catch up with something.
Actually, yeah, even the mayor came on the border that day. So you can
easily see how important these borders are. We've seen investors. There was a video one time training of investors using the borders.
Yeah.
And people are actually saying even investors use the borders. But it's now more, I think, with the introduction of border applications, or you would say motorcycle applications on the smartphones, it has made the border now more corporate.
Yeah, more corporate, and also the fact that now it's a formal business.
Yes,
just like
formal business. Yeah. With you look at the safe borders, Uber apps, all there are all on smartphones, so people can easily catch a border, even regardless of how you're dressed.
And it's normal those days. Yeah.
So
very normal.
Unlike back in the time when borders were not.
I remember. Yeah. It was quite actually getting a border. It was like you were down.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't feel ashamed.
Now there's also a report here that was regarding construction of the standard gauge railway main office. I think last week we had the issue to do with the revival of the SGR.
Yes, yeah.
And now when you look at the construction of the standard gauge railway main office now, the kickoff is that they want to see it in Namamve, and again we are getting a loan from Exim Bank of China.
No, I think it's recently the members of parliament were pinning the Minister of Finance regarding misuse of borrowed funds, and this is something that was being attributed to those agencies and departments that are responsible. You know, when this money is borrowed, it's distributed. Getting a loan from Exim Bank, in my opinion, would be fine, because in particular, the main office in Namamve, it's not about transportation of passengers, but largely cargo, and that is trade. You know, that's Kampala, Malaba, and of course also connecting to other areas in the East African region.
Sure.
So once we embrace this, this money gotten from Exim Bank for expansion is utilized perfectly, and with the East African community, I definitely believe it can be a success. I think that's, I would give it a thumbs up, as long as the money is utilized efficiently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the Computer Misuse Amendment Bill was another topic of discussion in here, with the ongoing Parliamentary Committee of ICT had sessions with different stakeholders this week to digest the Computer Misuse Amendment Bill, which was tabled by Honorable Seriko Mohammed. The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance asked the legislators to include the bill in the Information and Communication Bill. The ministry is about to table this bill in Parliament. And among some of the key clauses in this amendment bill tabled by Honorable Seriko Mohammed is that people have to be very cautious about the information they share
on the internet, on social media.
I think it's going to be protecting every consumer on social media, the public figures, the business leaders out there, the celebrities. I believe the reason why some people quit social media is because of misinformation. Or someone just chooses to get off social media because of the hate that is attached to it, the criticisms that happen on social media, amongst all these things. And if you're to look at that, I think this bill will protect and safeguard people. I've got to see mental health awareness. We've just concluded the mental health awareness month of June. And among us, the key things as the discussion were people who use social media are normally damaged, are normally tortured mentally. Someone can just speak something, or someone can tweet, someone can post something about your life, or can easily spread false rumor, and they just walk out freely. And then for you, you are left out there in the public with a different perception
about you.
So when you look at that, I think it's going to be safeguarding most especially public figures and any other person out there who is actually a big figure. And I also believe if they could put serious securities whereby if certain words are posted, what they call hate speech, speech that is also going to be part of that.
Demoralizing, and it's probably they send you a warning. Besides that, because this is something that we can't avoid. I'll be honest.
Yes.
Hate speech is something we can't avoid. People are going to always attack each other on social media. Someone is always going to put you down on social media, demoralize you, and make you lose your confidence. So I believe, yes, the bill can be passed, but we should go also further into the IT. There is all these people can actually program certain things. For example, there are certain calls you can make and you speak a certain word, and before you know it, you have security around you because it's programmed. Because that word was put in the system by the guys in the IT that once this call goes through and this word comes up,
I think it is also common with Twitter. There are certain words that you're not supposed to use that seem to be violent. And once you use it, either your account is suspended for a few days or you may lose your account. For example, if you use words like "I will kill you," "I will do this," those strong words that can scare off someone, a social media user, or that can be easily misinterpreted, regardless of whether you're joking or not. Those are some of the things that, like you've mentioned, that should be tempered with this particular bill. Well, also, during the week, we had a report regarding shoe business in the capital. The increasing prices of shoes due to the taxes imposed on imported shoes have led to the growing scarcity of genuine and quality shoes in the market. And you went on ground, by the way, and had a discussion with most of these people who sell shoes. What was your pick out of that?
Well, first of all, these people, somebody made a statement and said, now we're not going to, we get fake shoes, fake products, because they have money. Even he made it in Luganda, Zezitambula, So because of these high taxes, and you find that...
and I will tell you, most of those ones you're seeing on screens are not original.
For sure.
Most of them, and I will be very confident to say that all of them.
Sure.
Yes, because back in the time, when you look at these sneakers, if you trace the amount of these sneakers and try to put it in Ugandan shillings from the manufacturer's place, you will see these costing around $100 or $200, $500. Now, when you put that in Ugandan money, you're crossing over 300,000 plus.
That's a lot.
A shoe.
That's a lot.
Now, putting it in Ugandan context, most of those shoes you're seeing on screen are below
50,000.
50,000. And then the others, the average amount there is 70.
75.
Now the black leather
70.
is 40, 50. Now those that you're now seeing are the ones that people will look at and say it's a Dior. A Dior can cost 80,000.
Of course,
That is like $20.
20. That's too small.
That is too small for a Dior, for such a brand. Too small for a Nike and all these. So when you look at these brands easily, but because Ugandans want to see themselves wearing all these brands,
cool things,
and like what he says, the gentleman you interviewed saying that, I believe because it is what Ugandans want. So but putting them, in most cases, Bazitasm China, putting the Chinas on the market, but it's very easy. But
China has a good class also, just that as you import, as you buy from their stores, of course they communicate to you, where is this store going? Is it Uganda? Is it so in that aspect they'll determine the quality they're going to get to you.
And by the way, someone keeps once told me, you know, cheap things are always expensive
in the long run.
And I've got to realize it that sometimes if you ever go to a boutique that is selling something very expensively, and they will tell you it's because of the shipping costs and all that as to why it is expensive. That same shoe can be bought somewhere else at a cheaper price, but there are differences. The quality of these is different. The shoes may look the same, and every bit of it may look the same. But if you wear them for some good time, one may stay for like 3 years, the other may stay for a year or two.
3 months.
So yeah, or 3 months. Mainly these sneakers. As to why I was actually telling you, my mother used to sell most of these sneakers back in the time when we were in school, and that is when I got to realize that there are fake products in shoes.
A lot of them,
And she can easily tell you, if at all I buy a shoe and to meet her and I tell her, you know what, I've bought myself a good shoe, she's like, no.
That is fake.
That is a fake shoe. But anyway, it's good. It's a good fake shoe. Like you mentioned, the fake in China. So, like you said, there are some good in China. So she will tell you, waguze ekivumba kyo naye kirungi mu China kyo si kibi okutwalamu omwaka. So you can easily see what it means when you buy a non-genuine product, a fake product, or a counterfeit in shoes. So, and apparently, the taxes that have been imposed on imported shoes have made the shoe dealers hike the prices of these shoes. So a shoe that was at 20,000 is now at 40,
60
or 60,
and there are no buyers.
35. So a shoe that was 80 is now 100. And the reason that's why now buyers are very few in terms of, especially for men's stuff, is because men's stuff are expensive, but the man will actually have to look at it and say, well, if I have a shoe that can still carry me on, why should I buy?
Why should I buy?
If I have a jacket or
and it's black
and it's still carrying on, why should I buy it? So it's only the women who are always picky and they want to buy things as
different colors,
and their things are quite cheap. So that's an argument that a woman will not be ready to hear.
Of course.
But if you're to put it in the context of who has more available or more reliable goods, I think it's the men, it's the women, because as you're moving in, you can easily get for a woman a dress at 20,000. You're not going to get a genuine coat at 20.
No.
You won't get a genuine trouser at 20,000, and even if it's a jean, so you will be moving in 40, 50, 100.
Exactly.
But for the women, even a top, I hear tops are 5,000, 2,000.
No, actually,
at 500. So I think these things are very. These things are a little more of a discussion that women will not allow. But when you look at this from the shoe side, I believe every dealer now is facing the same problem, regardless of that,
whether shoes or what else. Of course, I think this all follows the heavy taxation. Actually, it's an initiative by the countries on the East African bloc to highly tax products that are coming from outside East Africa with the purpose of protecting domestic manufacturers. But majority of the local consumers, of course, don't acknowledge the domestic manufacturers, what they make here. So they find it quite unfair. So, and that's why these people are now giving them fake things. At least a person would rather buy a fake thing
than buying a genuine one which is expensive.
A genuine one which is expensive from Uganda.
Okay.
That he could buy something fake from China, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't understand. really attribute China to fake things. I think it's just a mindset that people have, but
No,
China has really
traders have
products.
meant us believe that China,
Exactly.
or maybe when they go to China, they also look for the cheaper ones that our market can afford, and then they bring them here.
Yeah.
Because Chinese, you look at Chinese, the Chinese business world, because it's the second
biggest economy.
That clearly shows you how genuine their products are. Now, lastly, I think we should not leave this set without mentioning about our neighbors in Kenya. On 9th of August, William Ruto won these Kenyan elections, and I can tell you there was a lot of tension because it took one full week for us to know who is the president. If you put it in a Ugandan perspective, within 3 days we already have a new president. And but for Kenya it was 7 days. However, people were still praising Kenya for having an election that was peaceful. We also have peaceful elections in Uganda.
I think we've had peaceful elections.
Yes.
We've never had a violent election.
So people were saying East African countries should look at Kenya, but I've not seen us having violent elections.
We've never had violent elections.
So when you look at this, the Deputy President, William Ruto, is now the new President-elect in Kenya after narrowly winning his counterpart and also five-time presidential contestant Raila Odinga. This time around he was too close to, it was actually too close to call because at the time of giving out the results, today you would wake up when it's Raila Odinga leading, tomorrow you wake up it's William Ruto. So it was really tight between the two. But speaking from the business perspective, all eyes are now on the East African community's strongest economy, that is Kenya. And now, if you're a leader of the strongest economy in the bloc, all eyes are going to be on you.
Definitely.
Most of the landlocked countries across this bloc, South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, use the northern corridor, that is the Mombasa port. So that is why we were all eyeing the election. And William Ruto, on taking on this particular one, did pledge to at least create jobs, and pledge to create jobs for pretty much the unemployed Kenyans and farmers plus young entrepreneurs, and pledged $500 million. So when you look at this particular money, is to ensure that this happens and to ensure that he strengthens the Kenyan economy. However, the state is actually in some huge debt, as it's still also facing some inflation at the time that he's coming in as president. But I think it is something that he should pick from there.
And actually, that's very, first of all, I congratulate him on that victory. Besides the domestic policies, I just hope he can, because the policies that are put across by the government, by his government, have an implication on how our transactions run in the country. So it would be very wise of him to maintain that relationship which Uganda has been having with Kenya before, when we had Kenyatta. So I think it's very important, William Ruto, to keep up the relations and even develop them further to another level, to ensure that actually Uganda, we can have that joint benefit of the region. You know, it's quite very sad to see that Kenya being a big powerhouse, we are in the same region, they're our neighbors, but when you compare the GDPs of both nations, there is a bigger weighing, the scale is way down. So it would be, I would really urge him to find ways we can have a cooperation, a really serious cooperation, whereby let me say, if we have summits, business summits, and we talk about factors to be implemented, we have a duration of when these factors are going to be implemented. When the duration is there, we need to see the results of the implementation. And I believe that's how Uganda, we can benefit, because Kenya is our big brother.
Yes. And Andrew, your last remarks as we are winding up with the show today.
And of course, as you know, it's a Friday. We're heading into the weekend, and it's very important that you just don't have fun, if I may say, in the context that we normally speak about. But it's very important. Just go back, strategize, make new business decisions to ensure that you can actually come back for the coming week very fresh and execute, and of course, make much more profits.
All right. And the big man, Barija Andrew, will be with you tonight at 10 p.m. with Smart Tech, the tech show, where you'll be understanding more. What do you have in tonight in Smart Tech?
Actually, this time around, we're going to look at comics.
Okay.
I mean, many times people watch. We've had Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, and all that. The Marvel world creating these comics, the DC Comics studio creating the comics. But Uganda, this time around, we have our comics.
Okay.
Our comics, and of course, we have our own superheroes that we shall be taking out. But this time in particular, we shall be looking at the technology behind making those comics to see those nice effects that you watch, and of course, to make something really look colorful. You will enjoy this.
All right, and I will tell you, we are a business station, and we're the only TV station in Uganda with content that doesn't need parental guidance. So it is not rated anywhere. It is rated 0 age.
Yeah.
At any age, anyone can watch our content. So when he mentions comics, whether you're 40 years or you're 70, you shouldn't think it's just cartoon or something. You should be able to watch 10 p.m. the Smart Tech Show with Barija Andrew and more of that. Like I said, it's a television station with content that doesn't need any parental guidance. You can watch it with anyone. You don't need to hide a remote. You don't need to do anything. If you're a parent or if you're a child, you don't need to run away once you see your dad coming and they get you watching Smart 24 TV. I'm Joram Paul Sonko. I'll be back in the night with business today. Have a blessed Friday for you people as well. The weekend is also ahead of us. Have a blessed one as well. Try to look back at your business, how you've survived throughout the week, and see that. But keep your eyes glued on Smart 24 TV. For us, ours is to drive the business and to ensure that you get the business information that you deserve as you drive your business wherever you are. And we are on DSTV channel 392 and then no, channel 372. I'm getting these numbers wrong. DSTV channel 372. Go TV channel 394. Let's grow bigger. Let's talk business. Let's talk everything to do with money matters. Coming up after is financial markets. Later on is Yugi Tukole, and then Skill Up and Jen Kolera. So keep your eyes glued here as well. We leave you with the SMB no comment till Monday. Smart Means Business will be back bigger and better.
I hope for you have the right qualifications, by the way. Thank you, Chair and honorable members. I wanted to seek your indulgence to allow me to apologize for the word I used yesterday and get it off record by saying I'm very comfortable with the losses. I think I want to say that it was got out of context. I wanted to mean from the background I gave you and the story I mentioned based on the core objectives as to why the airline was set up by the government. In terms of the strategic core objectives of the airline, I wanted to give you assurance as members of parliament and Ugandans that we are still on course. But I want to mention that yes, operationally we have quite a number of things we have to work on and that we are working on. So the comfort I was talking about was at strategic level because some members of parliament raised concerns that the project is getting off. I want to assure you that we are still on course in terms of the core objective, but yes, operationally we have some areas that we are also aware of as management, and with the guidance of the board we are trying to work on them, and we appreciate the constructive guidance you gave yesterday and constructive criticism. So I want to retract the comfort in general and give assurance that at the core objective we are still on course, but operationally we have some issues that we have to address. Thank you, Chairman. I hope for you have the right qualifications, by the way. Thank you, Chair and honorable members. I wanted to seek your indulgence to allow me to apologize for the word I used yesterday and get it off record by saying I'm very comfortable with the losses. I want to say that it was got out of context. I wanted to mean from the
Smart 24, driving business.
Up next on Smart 24 TV.
Smart 24, driving business.
Employment contract attribute.